Rain drummed softly against the tall glass windows of a small downtown steakhouse, the kind of place where regular folks came after long shifts, not billionaires. But tonight, one sat quietly in the corner, dressed in jeans and a plain gray hoodie, his face unshaven, his Rolex left at home. No one looking at him would have guessed his name was Ethan Cross, founder of one of the biggest tech companies in America. He wasn't there for food. He was there for something he hadn't felt in years: realness. He'd grown tired of boardrooms filled with false smiles and people who said yes for money. His wealth had become a wall, so he wanted to disappear for a night. Just a man alone ordering a steak. The waitress, Anna, noticed him the moment he walked in. Not because she recognized him. She didn't. But because there was something about his eyes. They looked tired, not from lack of sleep but from carrying too much. She was the kind of woman who noticed things. Working double shifts to pay for her mother's hospital bills had made her see pain in others more clearly. "Table for one?" she asked with a small smile. He nodded. "Yeah, just something simple. Steak, medium rare." She jotted it down, but as she turned away, she noticed the way he kept glancing toward the families around him, laughing, talking, clinking glasses. He wasn't part of any of it. He just watched, like a man standing outside his own life. In the kitchen, the cooks were joking about the strange guy in a hoodie who ordered expensive steak, but didn't look like he could afford it. Anna ignored them. She had learned not to judge. People came here carrying more than hunger. When she brought the food to his table, he looked up and smiled faintly. "You ever get tired of this place?" She laughed softly. "Every day, but tired doesn't pay bills," he chuckled, a sound that surprised even him. "Fair enough." As he ate, she refilled his water, asked if he wanted dessert, and tried to pretend she didn't notice the sadness in his eyes. There was something almost fragile about the way he thanked her, as if gratitude was something he hadn't practiced in a long time. Then, when she brought the bill, she hesitated. She had been holding on to a small, folded note all evening, one she had written on a piece of order paper during her break. Something inside told her to give it to him. She didn't know why. Maybe because he reminded her of her late brother. The one who used to sit just like that when life got too heavy. She slipped the note beneath the napkin and walked away before he could see. Ethan didn't notice it until he reached for his wallet. The handwriting was uneven, like someone had written it in a hurry. "You look like a man who carries the world but forgot to live in it. Whatever it is, forgive yourself. Go home." He stared at the words for a long time, his throat tightening. No one had spoken to him like that in years, not since his wife passed away 3 winters ago, the day he threw himself into work and never came back out. He looked toward the counter where Anna was serving another table, laughing softly at someone's joke. Her uniform was faded, her hair tied back, her hands slightly trembling as she poured coffee. But she had written something that pierced through all the armor he'd built around his heart. That night, he didn't go back to his penthouse. He drove to his old house in the suburbs, the one he hadn't visited since his wife's funeral. He walked into the dark living room, sat on the couch, and let himself cry. For the first time in years, not as a CEO or billionaire, but as a man who had finally been seen. The next morning, the steakhouse manager found a sealed envelope addressed to Anna. Inside was a handwritten letter and a check. Not a fortune, just enough to pay off her mother's hospital debt and a little more. The letter said simply, "Tor, you reminded me that there's still kindness in the world. Thank you for saving a stranger." A week later, when Anna walked home from the hospital with her mother's discharge papers in her hand, she looked up at the evening sky and smiled. She had no idea who the man really was, and he never wanted her to.